finish up our great Congress, and this will be the last presentation of the whole proceedings, we could not finish better than with a high dignitary from Kenya, Senator Veronica Maina. She's a lawyer, but please don't leave the room, it's safe. She's the Secretary General of the United Democratic Alliance, and she helps people licensing mining in the territory. She's also helping women empowerment policies in several aspects of the Kenyan society. And last but not least, she's very dedicated to the blue economy, which is a critical aspect of our industry. And sometimes we don't hear much blue economy in the narratives of our industry. We do hear it with pearls, for example, but we tend not to hear it with the colored gemstone industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Senator Veronica Maina.
Well, thank you so much, Mimo. She is special. I've watched Mimo grow and become who she is today, and I can't even start to say just how proud I am of you, Mimo, because we've come a long way with Mimo from church. She was in worship team, worshiping, and I have watched her grow over the years in mining, a very male-dominated society. So thank you. And Evan and Doug, thank you for the invitation. My name is Senator Veronica Maina, a special elect senator from the Republic of Kenya. And today I just want to talk about where the gemstones come from, one of the sources of the gemstone. When you hear about the Savorites, they only come from Savo. That's why they are called Savorites. So, this one. Technology is a bit higher in Dubai than in Kenya. So thank you for the support. I always say men and women are equal. But in some sectors, we need a lot of support from the male gender. But I'm a very serious female activist. I want to talk about a source country. And a source country is where you now find the raw stone, which is not yet refined, which is not yet cut, which is not yet shaped, and a raw stone which connects with what Mimo has shared as Mama Africa. It lives with the people, and sometimes it lives with the people who do not even understand that the stone is special. They can pick it, you can find them toying with it, even playing pebbles with it, without just understanding how special that stone is to many other people. And I think before I talk about one of the source countries being Kenya, I know many of us do know that Africa is a mother of all gemstones. Special places like Kenya, special places like Tanzania, special places like DRC Congo, where God granted me an opportunity just a little while ago, under 1 month, to visit. And special places also like Southern Sudan, which I did not know I would visit. And when I had to attend one event, parliament event, I kept wondering whether I'll come back. And you can't believe I'm in Africa, I was wondering that. Just to go and find Southern Sudan is a beautiful country with beautiful people. And that maybe even the conflict may be in some areas, but in many areas they are quite beautiful. Beautiful hotels just like in Dubai. The Radisson Blu in Southern Sudan is a beautiful place to go to. And I found just how sometimes we can have misconception about certain places in Africa. But today I want to concentrate on my motherland. I want to be a bit selfish. And as I'm being selfish with talking about Kenya, I cannot help to mention about DRC Congo before I do my presentation, because after I was invited to come and share today about Kenya, I had that opportunity to go to DRC Congo, and I found very good people in DRC Congo, a nation which is one of the richest nations in terms of resources and natural resources and minerals, forests, virgin forests, and every good thing is in DRC Congo. But the DRC Congo people are not very happy people, because courtesy of the blessing of those resources, they have faced a lot of challenges. You would expect much more growth in that nation, more than what you can see. And the socio-economic balance, the trade balance that ought to be there may have been a bit low. And I would hope that this group, being one of the groups that is having the opportunity to see the final product of those natural resources, would continue pushing for equitable support to everybody, so that the women and the children can feel the beauty of a resource being God-given within those nations. That's not what I was invited to present, but because I have many women and many good men in the room, it's good I share it, because we continually work on these issues together until we see communities empowered and communities being able to share those resources without any conflict. So let me talk now about my motherland. I have dedicated those 2 minutes to love Africa, my motherland now. Before I do that, may Hanum have gone, the color expert. This is the first time I have met a man who is doing better in color than women, at least better in color than myself. He knows all the colors. I am completely awed and very, very fascinated by his presentation. I looked, I photoed, and I think he has done an incredible presentation. Master of Ceremonies, in future, you invite speakers like us before such a speaker. That should be the highlight speaker, because his presentation was very, very good and very well done. And finally, Kenya straddles the equator and is located on the eastern coast of Africa. It covers that surface area, 586,600 square kilometers, and 480 kilometers of coastline on the Indian Ocean. Is that important? Yes, it is, because there are many resources not yet discovered, no prospecting done in the ocean fully. I believe if our oceans were having the right, our populations were having the right kind of support, a lot of things would be discovered, including oil within the blue economy or the oceans that are in Africa. And that some of the answers that we may not be finding today could be out in the seas, not in the land. And of course, you know, we border Somalia to the east, Ethiopia and Southern Sudan to the north, Uganda to the west, and Tanzania to the south. And we operate under a single time zone, GMT +3. It's a democratic space in Kenya. We have what we call the 2010 Constitution. We are headed by a president and a very strong parliament made up of a National Assembly and a Senate. I'm in the Senate section. And Kenya has a mixed economic development strategy aimed at attracting foreign direct investment. Most recent national development plans have seen Kenya remain the regional hub for trade and finance in East Africa. Is that important to this plenary? It is so important, because when you are considering where to go, closer to the Savorites, closer to the Tanzanites, and you're looking for a stable economy where you can do a contract and a contract is honored, there is a judicial system that can assist you in case of any challenges, then Kenya is one of the very strong places to look at. It's the place to be at. And I must say, Kenya has also been the nation that has stabilized the eastern side and even the central. It's the one that gives a lot of support. And lately has given a peacekeeping mission to DRC Congo, just to see that DRC Congo remains more stable. And Kenya is undertaking a resolution of that conflict. Our former president is the one who is heading it, supported fully by the current government. In Kenya, we have what we call the Mining Act. So there is a legislative infrastructure. And under that Mining Act, there is a cabinet secretary supported by principal secretary for mining and blue economy. This is the first time we have had a minister fully dedicated to mining in Kenya. That means our focus now as a nation is on mining because there are many minerals in Kenya, as I shall share in a little while. And we have a commissioner for mining who is responsible for certain functions, coordination and provision of geoscience expertise and data to the government on all matters related to geology, development and review of policies, legal and regulatory framework for guiding geological study and mining. And then we also have, I hope I'll be able to go back. We also have an online system through which you can apply for mining license or for prospecting license. So the key institutions support the function of the mining so that there is a legislative, robust legislative framework which assists any person interested, any investor interested to approach Kenya to know that it is a very studied branch of law which then supports your right as an investor should you be willing to source for these stones from the source. You'll find the institutional, legal, and regulatory framework for mining sector in Kenya is guided by that Mining Act. And minerals are normally vested in government, I believe, in many places in the world. And it means that if minerals are discovered, then there are concessions that you sign with the government, and you are able to return your investment and, of course, make profit, but also minding what is happening to the community around the area where mining is happening. So you'll find under the Ministry of Mining, it deals with the mineral exploration and mining policy, inventory and mapping of all the mineral resources, mining and mineral development. And I would say that just before I came to this conference, I had a good opportunity to meet with the Minister for Mining in a conference I was attending. And he has presented a cabinet paper for value addition to mining, meaning the government has started to take focus on what is happening in the mining sector, which focus was not there before, and that means issues are being put right and straight to enhance investment within the mining sector. I have presented the map of Kenya there, and as many arrows as you can see, there has been a mapping and a recording in the country showing the extent of most of these mineral occurrences within the Republic of Kenya. Kenya has numerous ores and industrial minerals which have been established to be in substantial quantities. And maybe some of those that I could pick, I know the Savorites have been picked, the Tanzanites, but we have something like soda ash, fluorspar, titanium, niobium, rare earth elements, gold, coal, iron ore, limestone, manganese, diatomite, gemstones, which is what I believe this Congress should underline, gypsum, and even natural carbon dioxide for those who want to even go beyond the gemstones or work with other people who would want to be interested in that. In the western part of Kenya, it has a greenstone terrain. Then we have what we call the Proterozoic Kisii group of rocks, and we have the Neoproterozoic Pan-African system Mozambique belt, which underlies the central part. And as you can see, there are many minerals that have not even been exploited within the Republic of Kenya. And do we have great opportunities in the nation for these actions to be undertaken? I would say yes, because there is positive, good political will to support the mining industry. If you look at what is happening right now, the subborites that you have heard being talked about are in a place called Taita Taveta, or where you would say, are there any activities that have been done for the value addition for this? Yes, we have places like the Voi Gemstone Center, we have places like the Mimo subborites that are being done in Taita Taveta. We have a gold refinery in Kakamega, granite factory in Vihiga. So in different places in Kenya, you will find efforts being done to take advantage of the existing minerals. Do we have challenges within Kenya? Yes, we have a bit of challenges. If you are interested and you would love to invest, which we would invite you to do so, then you know that when you walk in, the challenges you might find is many of the miners might feel exploited because of being underpaid. So if you're coming in with an investment, one of the things you must make sure is that you do your human resource in a very professional manner so that you don't have a backlash from the people who feel as though they are not getting the value for the work they are doing. Then, of course, you know, mineral resources, they attract, things like gemstones will attract illegal mining. You know, there are people who want to do something that you don't pay tax, you don't meet the concession fees that you're supposed to pay. So those challenges are there. Then there is also smuggling. We also have challenges when, for instance, if you have gotten gemstones from Kenya, they're being sold somewhere, and the person selling or the institution selling does not want to acknowledge that the origin of that stone is the Republic of Kenya. So you'll find it being sold, or you'll find in some states, you find some countries allowing the trade of that mineral without minding too much where the source of that mineral is. And sometimes it could come from places where it has caused a lot of conflict. So those who are finally doing legitimate business like yourselves who are seated here today must be able to insist that it is important for equity that we disclose the source of those minerals. Of course, there is then the cost of doing business, the challenge. We have a power challenge. Is it something that the government is looking at? Yes, it is one of the issues that are being looked at with a lot of focus on renewable energy. And I would have you look at these challenges in a different way, that every challenge presents an opportunity. Because if there is a challenge on energy, then there is an opportunity for renewable energy to be pushed to the next level, so that even when a mine is removed from, very removed from where they can tap from the grid, the national grid, then it means you can use wind power or other sources or solar. We have at Equator, solar works very well for our nation as a source of power. And even wind power is working in some of the counties. I forgot to say we have 47 counties within the Republic of Kenya, and most of them are able to work with renewable sources of energy, especially the solar. Are there interventions being done? Yes, there are times that the government wants to do interventions so that you make it easier for mining to continue. And one very critical one that one must do if you invest within Kenya is that you must do very heavy community engagement and very heavy CSR, because most of the communities living around the mines will not be able to have, for instance, a school or health facilities or water. So it's important that if we have a venture like a mining happening within a zone or within a county, it's then very important that you engage with the communities as an investor, make sure that CSR is continuing on, and there's an element where the community feels they are part of that activity, or there are job opportunities that are being generated by the activities, the commercial activities that are happening within there. So and a lot of interventions also being done is to ensure that any foreign investment within that sector is buffered such that the foreign investment makes sense even to the ones who are investing, and they are not walking away feeling as though they have invested and walked without their investment having proper returns. So why Kenya? Why not another place? And I would say, as I conclude, is because it is clear we have an established Ministry of Mining. The data is available. If you're very interested in the data, it's available. And there is a formation of mining certification laboratory and geodata bank. There has always been a milestone happening in the next level to enhance the mining projects. And then the infrastructure projects in Kenya have gone to a very good level right now, and it continues to be done. COVID, of course, the COVID era interfered with the infrastructure development. It slowed down the pace at which that infrastructure was growing. But with time, that is being taken back on course as the country continues to recover from COVID. Now, mining is mainly dominated by men. And if I can tell you the truth about myself, one of the things I like talking about is about gender empowerment. Actually, all these other things are like additionals to me, because for us in Africa, if we don't talk about gender empowerment in sectors like in mining, you will find that the participation of women will be 0.0000099.99%. Very minute. But we are happy to have the likes of Mimo coming up and entering that sector and competing at par or even doing better than our other gender. We actually don't, it's not even about the competition of the gender. It's about just allowing every human being to enjoy equal opportunity in tandem with the talents and the skills that God has enabled each gender to have. So right now, the mining sector is dominated, it's male-dominated. But I think in this room, I have seen very many women, so I won't even count. I have that small habit of counting how many women are in a Congress as against the men. But this room, I can almost see 50%, or maybe 45%, 55%. So this Congress is doing very well in terms of gender affirmment. And then in the mining sector, should we then have women? And why should we not have women? The biggest drivers of gemstone purchase and market are driven by women. It is the women mostly. You find the stones are being bought by the other gender for women. A lot of them, if you can be honest with yourselves. So if they are the end users, a lot of them are end users, then it is only fair that they should participate in the commerce that is coming around that. So we encourage women to form groups so that if it is capital, because normally the problem women have in our side of the world is that even if they want to participate at equal par, capital is not easily available, because even if they walk into financial institutions, they'll be asked for securities or collaterals, and they may not be owning land. They may not be having the title to present to the banking institutions or financial institutions so that they can secure funding to do the activity they would want to invest in. So it becomes a much more complicated question, but we continually are pushing governments to ensure that credit is more easily accessible for women, even those who want to engage in small and medium and micro enterprise for development of both men and women and for building families. I want to, who knows this gentleman here? I think he's known. Who remembers that watch? Eh? Do you know how many Savorites are in this watch? Do you know the cost of this watch? Who knows this gentleman here? I think, yes. Yes, and thank you very much, sir. And this watch was gifted in Saudi. It has a lot of Savorites. And the cost of this watch is the cost of that watch. Now I don't know how to go backwards on this very special gadget I got from here. I don't know how I'm even afraid to touch the red button. The cost of this watch is, thank you for the support. I have a fine gentleman at the back who is doing a fantastic job. Is, I believe, 780,000 USDs made up of Savorites. And so, if you are looking for the real Savorites, you follow Mimo. She gives you the destination. She'll give you the pin of where those Savorites are. Or you follow me, we have the pin. We can give you the location. Then you can come mine, you can come invest. We will guide you on the licensing, prospecting licensing. In fact, the prospecting has been done by many different companies. And at some point, we will find you now on social media with this watch. My watch still doesn't have the Savorites memo. We might need a fee on it. And I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to have a chat with you on thinking about Kenya as a destination. It's a stable nation. It's the most stabilizing nation within the East and Central Africa. And it's one of the best places in the whole wide world after Dubai to be at. Let me be kind to the host. Now, that's me together with the Minister for Mining. That's 2 days ago when he told me he has presented a cabinet paper to affirm the institutional framework that is going to support mining going to the next level, and even gemstones being cut within Kenya, and value addition being done to minerals that are within the Republic of Kenya. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Senator. Let me help you. It's okay.
Thank you.
I thank you. Thank you very much. What an insight about the country and the action that is being taken. And this is critical, taking action. And action is actually being taken. It's good to see my fellow countryman, Cristiano Ronaldo. This is the right pronunciation. The English way is Cristiano Ronaldo. But we say not Cristiano Ronaldo. It's quite difficult. Yeah. So, we are, I'm really happy that this is done, because from now I'm quitting my job as the MC. But before that, I must thank President Clement Sabag and the board of directors of ICA, and Doug Hacker, CEO. Last but not least, Claudio Margarit. That is, Claudio, can you stand up, please? Thank you very much. You did a great job. Great job as well. And also Cindy Chandler and what was the lady of the? Cami. So it was a very small group. Big round of applause for the 5 team people that brought this Congress together. They really did a great job. The best job they did was hiring this phenomenal master of ceremonies. And thank you very much, Clement, the board, Doug, for thinking on me. When they invited me, I said, are you crazy? Because I don't follow protocol. I don't follow formalities. I improvise everything. Sometimes I'm quite inappropriate. But yes, it was a lot of fun being here. It was an honor. I had to listen to all presentations for the first time in my life. I actually came to a Congress and did some real work. So thank you very much. And some housekeeping before we wrap up. We have, after lunch, we will have a members-only meeting. I can't remember at what time, but Doug, at what time is it? After lunch. So how can you be more accurate than that? So somebody will ring the bell, not me. And so after lunch, we convene here on this room for a members-only meeting. About 2:30. So it's in about sometime. And then the gala dinner, which is what I'm looking for tonight. And it's going to be really posh. It's on the Atlantis Dubai Crescent Court at the Palm Jumeirah. Oh, my Arabic is going very badly today. And it's at 7 if you want to go by car or by taxi. But if you want to take a bus, it's at 6 o'clock in every hotel. So Movenpick, Voco, and Taj. Make sure you are there at time and that you pick the right bus this time. So, yes. Over. Thank you. Thank you very much.